Hey, what's up? If you're watching this, you're interested in building a t-shirt business online. Now, I want to make sure that you understand what you're getting yourself into and to lay the proper expectations. To help you do that, there's two kind of hustlers we're going to talk about. There is the get money hustler and there is the legacy hustler. Now, what is the get money hustler? Get money hustler are the people who are out here taking advantage and exploiting the opportunity of, Teespring, merch by Amazon. That's all well and good. Essentially, I'm going to put something out into the interwebs. I'm going to make some money. Get money hustler. Nothing wrong with it. Now, let's talk about legacy hustler. Legacy hustler is someone that has a long-term perspective. They're trying to get money. The get money hustler and the legacy hustler are both trying to do the same thing, but both are trying to do it in vastly different methodologies. I am a legacy hustler. Everything that I do is almost like a Porsche 911. You can look at the very first Porsche 911 and see how the 2016-2017 model was derived from that original model. It looks completely different, yet you see the lines. Now, everything that I build from an internet marketer standpoint comes from that same place. It looks a little different today, but the genesis, the core is the same. Now, if you're a get money hustler, you have no such orientation. Once again, it's not bad. It's not horrible. The thing is, as a get money hustler, you're always restarting. You'll do something, it'll work out for a few months, a few years, then boom. I'll give you an example. When I first started with Conundrum Media, which was the name of the publishing company, which is now Hustlers Kung Fu, I wrote a book and I didn't know what was going to happen. I just knew that a lot of people needed to know how storage auctions worked, and I knew there was a marketplace, but I did not know there was not 1, 2, 3 storage auction shows in development. And when I wrote my book, I beat those shows by 14 months. So I had a very lovely opportunity where I owned the market for virtually 2.5 years. That's atypical. That's not something that I could repeat because there were so many things that came into alignment that made what was already successful even more successful. See, I don't say that I got, quote, lucky. Lucky didn't write a 269-page book. Luck had nothing to do with that. That was applied effort. Now, stemming from that a typical situation put me in a get money hustler situation by default, because I knew at some point it would be over. I had no false assumptions that, this is going on for years. I'll be riding this storage auction thing for the next 3 decades. No, honestly, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. So that's what happens with you're a get money hustler. And roughly 2012, I had to rebrand and reorient what I'm doing. Now, the thing is, storage auction units, making money with self-storage unit auctions A to Z, was a business book, how to start a business. So that's the core of this channel. What businesses I talk about, what ways we go, especially with this t-shirt business, is different methodology, but the core is the same, because you have a business, you have a product, you have a service, and you need customers to buy said product and service. That never changes. How you make money, you sell it, you sell more product, you increase the times that the customer buys the products. These things just don't change. So I'm going to design my t-shirt business, and once again, the best way to manage expectations is to properly set them. This will not be a get money hustler course. It will not be get money hustler information. So if that's what you're looking for, there's, like I said, I think this guy's name is Donald. He's created this course and it's a good course. I haven't taken it. I'm not endorsing it. I'm not slamming it, on how to use Facebook ads to sell a lot of t-shirts using the Teespring platform. And a lot of people have made a lot of money. I'm talking about like 100K a month selling Teespring, using the Teespring platform, selling those shirts. But with that said, that is not a durable hustle. It's going to peter out at some point, because as more and more people buy the course, as more and more the information becomes diffused, as more people use those tactics, they therefore become less effective. It's just going to happen. Now, let's go with, I can almost see it. It is just the craziest thing. I'm going to talk about some durable legacy hustlers. I can almost see it. Ed Hardy, okay? That is a durable legacy hustler. Ed Hardy went through many different renditions, became extremely successful, became pedestrianly popular, which means, pedestrianly popular is when it shows up in TJ Maxx and Marshalls and places like that. So it went from a very niche, very exclusive brand to a pedestrian brand and made billions. And Ed Hardy merchandise is still selling. That's a very durable brand. Now, it's not, doing what it did in the beginning, but actually it could be, because, I haven't researched it. I'm just going off the top of my head on this because I know about Ed Hardy, but he could have some things like with Ralph Lauren. When I was in the storage auction business, I learned a lot about Ralph Lauren's brand. Purple Label, there's brands within brands within brands. So Ed Hardy may have something similar. But, this is a good example. Ralph Lauren is an extremely durable brand. It's become iconic. I mean, he'll be dead. I think his son married Chelsea Clinton, something like that. I'm not sure. I'm not spreading gossip. I think his son married somebody. But essentially, Ralph Lauren is entered into the same atmosphere as Chanel, Hermes, Vanderbilt. There's just certain brands that are just going to be around a long time. Hello Kitty, extremely durable. Hello Kitty is not new. Hello Kitty was, I think, developed in 1979. That's how long Hello Kitty has been around. 79, 80, it was one of them, but it's been around 30 some years. I think 37. Once again, a durable brand. Now, with durable brands, it takes time to develop. And this is why I'm just saying, look, if you're looking for a get money hustle, if you're looking for something quick, be sure to go to hustlerskungfulifeskills.com. Plenty of stuff there for the get money stuff. It's free. Knock yourself out. But if you are that creator, someone that wants to build something, someone that likes to be creative and is willing to tinker and to explore, because just to be clear, there will be these videos that I'll do on YouTube, and then there will be the videos that I will do in the course. I will give numbers, I will give screenshots. Now, there's questions about what will I talk about. I will get down to the nitty-gritty. Now, going back to the first foray, with Teespring and how all of that stuff didn't really work out that well. I've learned a lot from the experience. When you couple a physical product with a digital product, it gives it more presence and it makes it more real. Many people have a subconscious problem with buying digital products because, there's some people who need to see, touch, feel, especially older demographic. They would like CDs and things like that. It's just, I don't get enough of demand for me to go through all of those things. Maybe in the future. But essentially, many people have a problem because they spend this money and they don't really get anything. You spend money and you go to a concert, you got your ticket stub. When you spend money, or you may get t-shirts or something, you need that anchor of something physical to help you appreciate and validate your expenditure of money. So that's one of the reasons that I'm incorporating the t-shirts, because like I said, the nitty-gritty, the numbers, the blanks, all of the stuff that I'm going through, dealing with designers, maybe creating a designer resource, creating, you know, networks, opportunities and stuff, all that's going to be part of the paid course. It's not going to be on YouTube, but there'll be plenty of what I call stuff that happens in business to talk about on YouTube. I've got a friend, I actually did the interview with him. His name is Aaron Marino. He has a men's grooming product that he put out a few years ago. And we were talking, his product made $38,000 the first year, which was not profit. The second year, he did either 180 or 1 million, something like that. Something like that. I have to look at it. But the thing is, his first year, and Aaron is a savvy business guy. He understands that things take time. So he didn't trip over the 38 grand because they were building the brand. I bring that to you because typically, if you're like looking for get money hustle stuff, you won't want this course. You're going to be disappointed because you're looking for some that you can go out and sprinkle some hustle dust on something and make some money instantly. That's not this kind of course. This is more for people who want to build a durable legacy type hustle. Someone who is, maybe you've got this brand that you created and you just haven't been able to figure out how to push it out there. Maybe you need to redo the brand. We're going to talk a lot about branding. We're going to talk a lot about marketing, because from writing my book, and I put this out in one of the writing groups I was a member of before everyone just got mad at me. Writing a book is 10% of the book's success. And I know many people will disagree with me. That's like, well, writing a book has everything to do with success. No, writing a book is 10%, which is hard, which is going to take a lot out of you. But marketing is 90% of the success of the book. Now, or anything. And when we talk about marketing, if a friend reads the book and recommends that book to another friend, that's marketing. It's called word of mouth, but it's called a referral. It's referrals. It's still marketing. You still need it. And you need enough push to get your book into enough hands for the referral engine to start working, which still takes marketing. So those just some of the stuff we're talking about, and just some of the things that I wanted to put out to people, to let people know, for people to understand what's going down, how we're doing this, so you don't come in with the wrong set of expectations. Because as I go through these designs, and a lot of stuff's going to happen, this isn't going to happen overnight. So you already have a platform, and already have an email list, and already have some attention. I don't have as much attention as I would like, but I have some attention, so I can make some sales. So with that said, we're going to need to actually put out information that is going to help you appreciate and really dig deep in you to create your brand. Now, once again, there's all kind of hacks out there. There are all kinds of tactics, because the get money hustler is closely aligned with the tactical hustler. And when I say tactical, I'm not talking about military strategy. I'm talking about someone, let's go back to the Facebook affinity group Teespring methodology of selling t-shirts. That's a tactic. It works. It works. There are people who made millions using that tactic. However, once again, as a get money hustler or a tactical driven hustler, you're always restarting. A better thing would be able to, maybe have a tactic while you're working on something durable, because see, this is the thing that's going to happen. You're going to get to a point where you're not going to want to hustle like that all the time. I still hustle much harder than the average person, but my level of hustle is nothing compared to my level of hustle, what my hustle used to be. I mean, my hustle was like on steroids. And this is the dial down hustle, because once you build some things, you don't have to hustle that hard. You can start to think about strategy, and you can sit back and you can take, the time that's needed. You should still have a sense of urgency. Don't get it misconstrued that you shouldn't have a sense of urgency. You should still have a sense of urgency, but you should also have some strategy and work your thing in a manner that you're, just to be succinct, have a get money hustle to pay the bills, to pay the mortgage, pay the car payment, to put food on the table, and then have a durable hustle that you're working on, that once you get it built. I'll give you a good example of Marie Folio. She has this thing that's called B School. I think she's been selling it since 2010. I'm not sure, but every year she opens it up and makes millions of dollars. I'm quite sure the product, because Marie is like a super savvy operator. I'm quite sure the product is, updated, and she brings stuff in. But she has created a hustle, a durable legacy hustle that is a community, because B School alums work together and they do business with each other. So it's a really, really nice thing that she's built. But see, the thing is built, and it's kind of like when the airplane takes off. An airplane uses a phenomenal amount of food, a phenomenal amount of fuel. Yeah, I'm hungry. A phenomenal amount of fuel to take off. But once it's up, doesn't take that much fuel. So once your hustle reaches a certain level, you'll still have to use effort, but it's almost as if it goes on autopilot. It's almost like it goes on autopilot. It doesn't take as much effort. You are operating at a higher level. You're making more money, but you're not working as hard. And the equity, the sweat equity that goes into building a brand, all of those months, weeks, possibly years where you weren't making that much money, you're paying your dues. You see this over and over in business. You see this all over the place. And that's one of the things that I want to bring to this course with a very stunning level of reality, because once again, I'm in a lot of Facebook groups and I see a lot of people, and I know what they're doing. I know how much they're spending, and I know their real tactics. And no, I'm not going to name names, and don't email me asking me who, because the information is not going to benefit you. Because if you're not in action, if you're not in motion, if you're not making something happening, knowing who, what, why, and when, and what they're doing doesn't benefit you, because you're not in the war. You're not out here fighting. You're not hustling. You're just on the corner with a deep desire to get in, but you're kind of waiting for the perfect opportunity. And I can tell you, there is no perfect opportunity. You have to make the perfect opportunity. Going back to the storage auction book. If I didn't write that book, none of this would have happened. None of it. None of it would have happened if I didn't write that book. The book was the reason. So whatever things that you have in your mind, things that you want to hustle on, just start putting it out there. Just a little reminder to everyone, really, really different from other t-shirt businesses because of some information that I learned from launching an online course. So if you want to learn how to set up a different t-shirt business, check this video out, because I'm going to go way left, and it's going to be some stuff in here that you've not seen before. So with that, brace yourself. When I launched the first version of hustlerskungfu.com, I put a t-shirt in the mix because I wanted some swag, right? And it really, really turned out good and bad at the same time. The t-shirt concept was solid. The execution, because I used the wrong t-shirt supplier, was a nightmare. And that's one of the reasons I'm doing my own t-shirt company to have more control over that process. Now, this is how I'm going to do it. To get your best deals on t-shirts, typically you have huge runs, and a run is a large order of t-shirts. I'm not going to run it like that. I'm going to have small runs. I'm not going to order 5, 6, 7, 800 t-shirts and nothing like that. I'm not going to do it, because also that goes back to the logistics, that goes back to the inventory, that goes back, there's a lot of things that happen that are very expensive for you to get that cheap print price up front, which is where you're going to put it, how you're going to keep track of it. Well, by having shorter, smaller runs, I don't have to worry about that. Plus, I'm going to operate on a very heavy reoccurring business model and a very heavy pre-sale model. Give you an example. Let's go back to what I learned from the storage auction about how to run a business. When you bought a unit, the unit puts you in a very reactionary mode. And what I mean by that is, you didn't know what was in the unit, so once it came out and you unloaded the unit and you sorted the stuff, you had to figure out how to sell it. So you were in a very reactionary mode from that position. It's just like, okay, how the fuck do I sell this stuff? And that happened every month, sometimes several times a week. But I was having so much fun that I didn't really understand it was not the best way to run the business. It was a good business, we made money, but it wasn't the best way to run the business, because you're in that reactionary mode and you can't put in systems, automations, and really scale your business. And that's one of the reasons that when I got sick and my partner was diagnosed with cancer, we had to shut it down, because it was hard to scale. We could have if we had hired managers maybe 2 or 3 years before, but we didn't. So once we were out of the business was over. That's going to happen anytime that you are the business. Now, from the reactionary mode, what I'm going to do, and you'll see it, I got the first design done. We're working on the second design, and I've got the concepts for designs 3 through 12 done, plus I'm creating more. I'm not going to just do, quote, buy my t-shirt. Now, this is going back to what I learned from a storage auction business. I didn't understand the value of a reputation, and I didn't understand how a reputation could make you money. Give you an example, and this is way off to the left, but I remember going to an auction and I was broke. I had overspent the day before. I didn't calculate correctly. There was no money to get in the bank. I was broke compared to, rolling out with anywhere from 5 to 10 grand. I only had $1,200 on me, and that was broke. If you're going to a big auction, you're trying to buy some big rooms. That's just not, you really are limited. So I get to the auction, there's a bunch of new people, there's a bunch of old heads, and there's like 30 rooms. So I felt comfortable I was going to get some good stuff, but I really felt some kind of way. I was feeling a little inadequate because I didn't have the money that, where I could buy a room, possibly make a mistake, and still have money to get a good room. So I just go out and I was like, fuck it. So I start bidding everybody up, new people, learn from the old folks. It's like, yeah, he's going to do that. He does that. He'll buy them all. He'll buy them all, or it'll cost you a lot of money, right? And I heard that and I said, yeah, act like you got the 10 G's. So I'm buying and I'm buying, I'm bidding, right? Because I ain't buying shit. And I'm bidding, then we get to the rooms that I want, and there's 4 of them, and I get them for my $1,200. Now, if I didn't have a reputation, there would have been no way in hell that I would have got those rooms. So the whole point of that is hustlers kung fu. The hustler's mindset is going to be predicated on the philosophy and the reputation that I have been putting out for the last 7, 8 years. See, I'm that guy, and this is going to sound really bad because I was talking to a friend about it, but if it came out like there was, what would be a scandal for another guy, let's just say we got this YouTuber, he's really popular, and he's a good guy, he doesn't cuss, right? Then the scandal comes out that he had fucked 20 women in a month, he was cheating on his wife and all this other stuff, right? That would kill his brand. It would kill it because that's how his brand is built. Now, if it came out like, damn, Glendon was fucking a bunch of young chicks, most of y'all be like, shit, that was Glendon. It would do nothing. It would be like, okay. So what I'm saying is philosophy and the brand is got to be synonymous, because one of the reasons that people have problems selling stuff is, all right, you come up with a nice design, and one of the things they teach in some of these t-shirt courses is you find an affinity group which already has a philosophy and you sell to them. So it's even with those courses, it's the same thing. So instead of me trying to create like this t-shirt business of some brand I don't know or make some up, it's just stupid when I already have somewhat of a hard-ass brand. Edgy, which is like if you're on the email list, you saw this, like the Black Ops stuff is coming back, because years ago I had this book, the Black, Getting into Black on eBay, the Black Ops edition, and I pulled it back because eBay had made all these changes where the information in that book would have got people kicked off. And I had people begging me for that book because it was full of a lot of, stuff you just can't do. Stuff like having your URL in every picture. You can't do that anymore. Did that shit for years. Nobody was doing that shit. Just put it in there. It was kind of crazy, like a watermark. But I'm going to start doing a lot of that type of stuff. Probably will do a living off the grid course, which for some people may be necessity now. That's something that I did for 10 years, but I didn't live off the grid as some nomad in the desert. I lived off the grid and built $1 million business. And to do that, you have to understand how the system works. Because if you understand how the system works and you understand where all the lines and rules and regulations are, it's very easy to circumvent them or step across the line, step back, and not be injured. And that's what this t-shirt brand is going to be about, because it's, there's some of you who are looking for hustlerskungfu.com, right? And you couldn't find, and it was going because I want that to be the t-shirt store URL. And I had to wait because and when I build this t-shirt company, I'm going to let you in on all of the stuff that I went through, from the domains, transferring domains, dealing with designers, where to get blanks. Blanks are the t-shirts that you put your stuff on. This is something else. I'm not going to just get like a regular shirt. I'm going to get something nice, a shirt that will wear well. That's the reason I'm taking my time to do this. It'll be something that you would want to wear 5, 6, 7, 10 years from now, because we're building a brand. Now, the t-shirt business, even though it'll be separate, people could buy t-shirts, it's going to be more so for people who are already ingratiated in the brand. That's who's going to be really the primary recipients of these t-shirts. Folks who've gone through Hustlers Kung Fu Life Skills, people in Hustlers Kung Fu Dojo, because I'm going to set out a course, and the only way that you can get this shirt is to get the course. So if you see that shirt, people had to get that course, and then there will be shirts for the public, and there'll be shirts that'll be for the tribe. Now, going back to the behind the scenes stuff, I will do videos like this where I'll say, hey, how to start it, and I'll give you topical information. But for the nuts and bolts, the phone calls, how to get designers, all this other stuff, that's going to, that's literally, if I'm sitting there talking with a designer, going back through some stuff with Fiverr, it may take me 30, 40 minutes to do a screen share. That's going to be in hustlerskungfudojo.com. That's going to be paid. And let's just be clear, hustlerskungfulifeskills.com is free. Always be free. If you like it and you want to pay something, there's a pay what you want link, and I ask that you refer 2 or 3 people to the channel and the courses, but you don't have to pay. Now, Hustlers Kung Fu Dojo, where it'll be the active stuff, that's going to be a paid membership site. A lot of stuff. There's going to be a course that's going to drop every month. When I was building out hustlerskungfu.com before I switched stuff around, I had on a template 35 courses I was going to do. And then I stopped because I saw that, people were getting like really crazy. I have enough stuff already developed where I can create a course probably for the next 18 months. Of course, every month I'm probably going to take Christmas off. That's kind of the thought, right? The thought process right now, but maybe not. But there's going to be a lot of stuff that's going to be going down, and I'll show you the failures, because this is something else. There are many people who seem to hop out of their mother's wombs and it's all shiny. They're just making money. They just touch is money. I think that is just bullshit. I think those people are extremely rare, and I think a lot of folks online are bullshit artists, because once again, as I go through the building of this brand, and see, this is why you have to pick something and stick with it. You keep jumping around, getting on this tactic, which works. Let's talk about Kindle. The Kindle thing worked very well. A lot of people made a lot of money. Now Amazon changed up the game on them, and then they couldn't make any money. And if you notice, a lot of these guys who were doing these Kindle courses have shut them down. I honestly think that they got some letters from Amazon like, we're going to sue you if you keep doing this. I could be wrong. Don't know. Don't have any proof. Just an assumption. But if you go ahead and you put your sword in the ground and say, this is the shit that I'm going to do, and start building your brand, and I'm going to be real with you, it's going to be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 years. It's going to take some time. But if you do, oh man, I mean, the things that will just come your way, because you're building something that is durable. You're building something that you could potentially leave to your kids, because you're building a brand. And that's going to be the important thing with selling apparel and t-shirts and stuff long term, versus just for a few short weeks or months or something like that, because you're doing tactic driven business, which makes money, but it doesn't continue to make money because it has a window where it's just not going to work. And that's the danger of becoming addicted to tactic driven businesses, which a lot of people are. And then they struggle when they have to sit down and build a business that is not predicated on tactics, and they have to do something different to make money. And then that's when, that saying, the struggle is real. The struggle is real. I mean, it just becomes very, very demoralizing for some people, because they now realize that they invested in all these tactics, and they haven't taken the time to build stuff that creates a legacy or a brand that they can sell year after year and enhance that brand. Because if you notice, Apple doesn't advertise. They'll do a show or something, but for the most part, they really don't advertise, because they're a brand and everyone knows who Apple is. And let me step back. Apple doesn't advertise the way that I advertise, because I'm not nowhere near their level. But every time you see someone with an iPhone, every time you see someone with a MacBook Pro, they're marketing to you, whether you like it or not. But that's going to be how I set this up. You'll get to see a lot of the behind the scenes stuff if you're a member of hustlerskungfudojo.com, and you'll get some swag. The goal is to make some stuff that's super, super tight, super comfortable, but sticking with that rough, rugged edge of hustlerskungfu.com. Now, I will also tell you why I changed the name, because the channel was Glendon Cameron. Okay, that is real limiting when you brand your company with your name. It becomes super, super limiting. If you will look at what Warren Buffett did, his company isn't called Warren Buffett, it's called Berkshire Hathaway. And if you look at the top 500 companies in the world, none of them are named someone's name, not a one. Because when you're building a business, you have to get outside of yourself, and that's something I realized last year, and that's the reason for Hustle. The channel is Hustlers Kung Fu. That's why there's hustlerskungfu.com. That's going to be where you get your gear. That's why hustlerskungfulifeskills.com, Hustlers Kung Fu Dojo. So all of it starts to make sense, because at one point I was doing this and this and this, and then I've learned from some of the courses that I take and some of the consulting that I pay for, that I needed to tighten this stuff up, put it together. And it's just really interesting how it's starting to work out, because I'm gonna, like I said, there's gonna be a lot of content that's coming your way. And also, I've kind of put my sword in the sand, and I'm gonna be like YouTube, and I will mess with Facebook to a degree, but I'm not gonna wholeheartedly invest in Facebook, because I believe in sticky IP. Instagram is sticky IP. YouTube is sticky IP. Pinterest is sticky IP. Anything that someone can come across 5 years from now and still get it and access it easily is sticky. Your Facebook page isn't like that. Facebook is doing this stuff where you're getting like notifications about stuff you did 4 and 5 and 6 years ago. Most of the stuff on Facebook is tertiary, trite, it's bullshit, it's entertainment. Why would you want to be reminded of some snarky comment you made 5 years ago? Maybe I'm wrong in thinking like that, but I just thought it was a nuisance. And that's why I think Facebook's going to run into some problems in a few years, because they're trying to be everything to everybody. And I know from experience what happens with that, and many other people know from experience. Now, if they just stick to being a social network and